like my head is gonna explode. 3 circles, just like the platform. I should be able to do something with that. Something moved. again. worked. Oh, come on. There's more. Hope that's the last one. Is that the exit? I did it! My head.
What the? Shit! Clyde, get Deneb. She got out!
What? How on earth could she?
No time for that. Go get him!
Out. I'm out?
Ugh, who cares about Deneb? Do you think Iverson gave a shit when she offed all our guys?
Huh? Wait, Iverson, are you talking about the party? It wasn't us.
And now she's awake. Great.
What do you mean it wasn't you?
Don't fall for her act. She came here to destroy us. Don't forget it.
What are they talking about? I'm not here to... We thought you were behind the attack.
Just can it? You can stop the little dance routine already? It's not gonna work on us. So spit it out. Why did your bitch of a prince betray us?
She didn't. This is so backwards.
You're gonna pay for her treachery. You get that? None of you are going to get away with this.
That's enough.
But Deneb,
I said enough. Miss Lewis, I presume.
Osborne. At last.
Well, you certainly are resourceful. Few people are able to escape from memory traps without assistance. Though I doubt you were able to escape with your memory unscathed.
What are you trying to tell me?
I do hope for your sake that you have recovered all of your memories. Otherwise, they're gone. The process is more or less irreversible.
You've got to be joking.
I'm afraid not. Let's put the matter behind us. Now that you're here and conscious, we'll be able to talk.
Why did you lock me up?
You represented a threat.
A threat? I just wanted to talk to you.
And why, pray tell? To explain the reasons for your prince's betrayal?
The prince is on edge. She thought you might have been behind the attack.
But seeing your reaction, I'm guessing you're not.
You're putting me in a somewhat awkward position. I would like to take you at your word, but that would mean putting what's left of my men in danger. If you're telling the truth, you're going to have to prove it.
All I know is that we were there tonight to forge an alliance between our two cities. We're allies. That's got to count for something, right?
Tell me you're kidding. To dismiss the hypotheses that Hazel might have betrayed us simply because we had an agreement? It would be naive and stupid.
You have to believe me. We're not responsible for the attack at the party.
The prince will be relieved to know that you're all safe and sound.
If only that much were true. Many of our brethren were in attendance at that accursed reception.
You need a reason for my presence. The prince is worried about you. That's why I've been sent. To make sure you're safe.
Very well, my dear. I would like to believe that you're not here to finish the job, as they say. However, the idea that your prince sent you to help us? Iverson may be many things, but she is most certainly not sentimental.
You're right. That isn't the only reason I was sent.
Just why are you here, then?
For our alliance.
I know these times are tough, but the prince wants to make sure our agreement still stands.
What agreement?
What do you mean, what agreement? The union you were supposed to celebrate at the party.
Be more specific. What were the particulars?
The agreement detailed regulation of the blood market in both of our cities. From what I understand, you're pretty good at stabilizing blood, and we've got humors covered with Dr. Dunham. Our terms agreed to combine Boston's Malkavian expertise with your Chantry's know-how to produce a better quality blood. But all is still in the planning stage. Nothing set in stone as of yet.
Very well. I see you've done your homework. That's somewhat reassuring. I was afraid I would have to negotiate with an amateur.
Negotiate? I'm here to reaffirm our alliance, Mr. Osborn, not redefine it.
Oh, that's rather unfortunate. I'm sorry, my dear, but I won't be able to validate the agreement. Not without a reevaluation of the terms. Look around you. This room used to be teeming with devoted kindred. We lost 3/4 of our people. Hartford has taken serious risks. In all regards, risks that are not on par with your prince's commitments. We demand compensation.
I see.
You seem to know the terms of the alliance like the back of your hand. You're more than qualified to participate in these negotiations.
With all due respect, I don't think...
Enough small talk. What is your prince willing to give us to salvage this alliance and right the wrongs that she's caused us?
What if the prince gave you a slice of her city?
That would depend on the neighborhood.
Hey, ma'am, girl, where are you going with this? Whichever one you want.
Downtown?
Within reason.
All right. How about Charlestown?
Why not?
Very well. We have a deal. I'll contact our headquarters in Hartford to iron out the details.
Fantastic. Hazel's gonna kill me.
Well then, it looks like we have ourselves an agreement. Hartford will remain under Boston's umbrella. For now. Iverson will still have to answer for the party. What happened was unacceptable. I will not turn a blind eye.
I understand.
That being said, I applaud your demeanor. The situation wasn't exactly to your advantage.
Thank you, sir.
Very well. I'll contact your prince in the next few days. I think we're done here, unless there's anything else you wanted to talk to me about.
I would like to ask you a few questions. If you have a minute, of course.
Of course.
You have any rivals in the blood business?
Yes, there are a few. Malkavian Spawn in particular. They had the market cornered for a good amount of time, especially in Gwendon King's day. Even though I don't approve of their methods, I must admit that they excel in their art. There are few capable of producing blood so pure.
Seems like your business has been turning for quite some time. Am I right?
Indeed, you're not mistaken. Warlocks have always had a special talent for getting the most out of blood. Call it our trademark. There's always been trafficking, but what your prince is proposing goes much further. Combining Dr. Dunham's expertise with the skills of the Tremere clan. The result would be...
enormous.
Precisely.
I bumped into a few people during my detention. Humans.
Yes.
Who are they? What are they doing here?
They're the forgotten, the invisible. People who live on the streets. Junkies. Squatters. They wander in here by choice or ill fortune. Well, We do need blood, like everyone else.
You mentioned my memory fragments earlier.
Yes.
You led me to believe that the loss of them was permanent?
Not necessarily. Memory impairment is a side effect of the dimension. How permanent the condition is varies from one person to the next.
That's the kind of thing I wish I'd known going into this.
I can only imagine. But as I told you, you may not have anything to worry about. With any luck, it should all come back to you in time. At least, if it comforts you, I truly hope so.
Am I the only victim to suffer the effects of your magic?
No, far from it. Anyone who enters the prison is affected.
Including you?
Of course, but we have rituals to counteract its effects.
I don't get it. Why do you target memories? You could have just built a bunch of high-security cells.
Believe me, all cells can be breached, even the strongest ones. But if you rob prisoners of their memories, they lose their very desire to escape.
In theory.
In theory.
No, I'm good.
Very well. You'd best be running along back to your prince. I'm sure she's eager to hear your report.
That she certainly is.
Very well, Miss Lewis. Mr. Moses, would you please escort MM out? It would be a shame if she were to get lost again. As for the rest of you, it seems we need to start packing our things. Next stop, Charlestown.
Nice badge.
Keep an eye on the elevator. I'm gonna go wait for forensics.
Okay. Let me know when they get here.
Excuse me.
Message from the sheriff. Prince asked more for 5 reports. If I can't bring back their author, I must bring back the reports at least. I'll know them when I see them. That's not a good sign. Special Agent Smith.
The FBI! Finally, some backup. Lieutenant's expecting you. Straight ahead. Watch out for the bloodstains. Forensics hasn't been through here yet.
Got it.
Go ahead. It's okay.
The victim lost a lot of blood.
Yeah, I'm still looking.
Hmm.
Don't worry. I'll finish here and then I'm on my way. Bree, you're gonna be okay.
Lieutenant Anderson, I'm in charge of the investigation.
Special Agent Smith, FBI.
Really? Smith? Is that some kind of joke?
No, why?
Let it go. Never mind. I'll give you the DL. We got a call from the caretaker around 2:15. He told us that one of his residents was brought in with an injury carried by his bodyguards. We sent...
Is the caretaker still here?
He's in the living room. But I don't think you'll be able to get anything useful out of him. Poor guy's in shock.
Who was the first person on the scene?
That would be Baker. He's somewhere around here. It shouldn't be hard to find him.
Okay, then what?
When they stepped inside, the guys came face to face with that.
Do we know who the victim is?
Yeah, he had his ID on him. It's the owner, a guy named Jason Moore. I don't know who this guy pissed off, but things didn't work out too well for him.
Did you secure all the exits and entrances to the building?
Yes, we've got men on the ground floor and in the parking garage.
How do you get to the parking garage?
You'll have to ask the caretaker. He's the one who took my men down there.
Do we know if he had a family?
Yeah, a wife and an 8-year-old daughter. The wife, Lydia Moore, 34 years old, architect, dual citizen of Costa Rica and the US, no criminal record. Yeah, we're trying to get a hold of her. The daughter, June. We've looked and she's not here either.
What have you got on Moore?
He was an asset manager. But if you ask me, he was involved in some shady stuff that we're sure to find out about. It's not every day that an accountant gets his head chopped off.
Where are the bodyguards?
We haven't found anyone yet.
Go on.
We're still looking through the head. We're waiting on forensics for everything else, but they're busy with another case.
What case?
You haven't heard? At one international place. They say it was a real bloodbath. So, you're here to take over the case?
No. I'm working on something else. Moore's name popped up in one of our investigations, but I can't talk about it.
Okay. I'll let my team know. Agent Smith from the FBI is here. We're still in charge of the investigation, so please cooperate with him.
Sorry, I'm busy.
One of the weapons is missing. My ship ended up at the bottom of the sea as well, like my other lives. My ship ended up at the bottom of the sea as well, like my other lives.
Sorry, I'm busy.
A signet ring with a beaver on it. More went to MIT. The flesh is burnt around the bullet hole, over a wide area. He was shot at point-blank range, no doubt about it. The blow came from behind. Bullet wound in the right hip. There's a retainer here somewhere. Moore's driver's license. They wanted to bring a little vacation back home.
Where in God's name is forensics?
The apartment has changed since my last visit. Mr. Adams?
No. This can't be happening. What a nightmare. So much blood.
I've got a few questions.
I tried to help him. I told him we should call 911. I told him.
Sir, listen to me. It's all right. Calm down. You're safe, and you did the right thing.
I did the right thing.
I need you to answer a few questions for me.
Yes, of course. What do you want to know?
Did you know Mr. Moore well?
We weren't friends, if that's what you're asking. But we got to know each other. With time. He was a creature of habit. Since he worked late, he would often ask me for things at night. A newspaper, batteries, ice. I think he asked me for just about everything. I prided myself on always being able to get what he needed, no matter what time it was. You'd have thought he pretty much lived after dark.
Like his clients. Did Mr. Moore have many visitors?
For a man with his status, it was nothing surprising. But, well...
Yes?
His visitors mostly came in the middle of the night. I must admit, that's a little unusual.
That's what working for us is like.
He told me he had a lot of foreign clients, and he had to juggle different time zones. That's what working from home is like. He had colleagues over for late-night meetings, too. But since little June was born, not as many people came around.
That was wise. Did he have any enemies that you were aware of?
No. He was a very respectable man. No bad company or anything.
Except for us. Without any disrespect to the deceased, were you aware of any extramarital affairs he may have had?
Mr. Moore was a good man. He would never have disrespected his wife, or even contemplated it, I'm sure.
She could have been okay with it. There were no young women coming and going.
That's a very inappropriate question. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Do you know his wife?
Mrs. Moore is a model resident. She always has something nice to say to the staff. And is the first to welcome new neighbors, too. A true lady.
Do you know where she is?
Mr. Moore told me she'd gone to their home in Costa Rica. She goes there pretty often. She's an architect, and she likes to work in her home country. She has family there.
Do you think anyone could have been so angry with her that they could have taken it out on her husband?
Oh, no. I don't think so. It's true that lots of people could have been jealous of her. But not to that point.
I imagine the girl left with her mother?
Not at all. It was the start of the school year, and Mrs. Moore left 2 weeks ago. I haven't seen her since Monday, when Mr. Moore took her to school on the first day. She must be staying with a friend. Poor little thing. Thank heaven she wasn't here.
Do you know his bodyguards?
Yeah, there's Jack, James, and Wu. But you won't hear me singing their praises.
Why not?
Oh, they're good at strutting around and acting tough when everything is going well. But where were they tonight? Can you tell me that? That was their job, right? They were paid to protect him.
What do you mean by acting tough?
More than once I overheard them talking to Mr. Moore, like they were his boss. The world upside down.
They worked for us, just like your dear Mr. Moore.
I hope they won't find another job anytime soon.
Tell me about the evening again, please. What happened tonight?
Mr. Moore left with his 3 bodyguards earlier in the evening. One of them got in the car, and Mr. Moore came down around midnight.
And then?
They came back around 2 a.m. Mr. Moore was limping. He was leaning on one of his bodyguards, and he was bleeding.
Was he injured?
I told him I could call an ambulance or a doctor, but he didn't answer. I went closer to insist, but Wu told me they were in control of the situation, that it was no big deal. They went upstairs, and I saw drops of blood in front of the elevator. I told myself they were being unreasonable. What did those 2 goons know about it? So I called Mr. Moore on the internal line, several times.
Did he pick up?
Not once. So I went upstairs and rang the doorbell, but nobody answered. So I went back down to the front desk and I called you.
The lieutenant told me there was an access to the basement.
Yes, using the service elevator through the kitchen. You need a magnetic pass to use it. I gave the spare to your colleagues who wanted to go down there. I still have the original. Do you want it?
Please. Thank you for your statement.
You have to find out who did this, officer. Justice needs to be done for him. And for his family.
And we need to find out who's messing with us. That's what we're here for. You can count on us. Stick around in case we have more questions. Somebody slept here.
Huh. You managed to calm him down. I thought that would be impossible.
Yes, and he was able to answer a few questions.
Why is the FBI interested in Moore?
His name came up in several financial investigations we're working on. Meet me there.
Of course.
It'll pass. Don't worry.
I'm gonna throw up!
Are you all right?
Yeah, just a little faint.
I was expecting it, but then... give me a minute, and I'll head back.
The sight of blood. We've all been there, haven't we?
No.
Ew.
Fine vintages imported from Europe. Moore knew how to treat his guests.
Can you take a look at the cards, please?
I'll run the plates.
Hey, mister. You can't go into the parking garage. It's a crime scene.
Agent Smith, FBI.
Oh, hi. Officer Norton. Hey, they didn't tell me you were coming down.
Got something?
Wyatt saw Moore leave at 2:25.
Wyatt?
The parking attendant, part security guard, part valet. Anyway, a car that belonged to the victim left in a hurry. Or at least he thought it was Moore, until he found out he got his head cut off. This...
He?
What?
You said he must have been in a hurry. You're saying it was a man?
Oh, no, it just slipped out without thinking. It could have been a woman. Do you think it was the murderer?
We're not sure of anything at this point. I've got a few questions. Where's the witness?
Wyatt? He's in the security booth over there. He's super nice. I don't think you'll need to question him again.
You mentioned skid marks.
Yeah, they're very distinct. They start from his parking space and go all the way to the exit. They clean this place twice a day, so there's no doubt they're fresh. The driver peeled out of here in a hurry.
And you said there was an accident near the exit.
Yeah, minor one. Broken headlight, paint marks. He must have had a hard time handling it.
Do we know what kind of car it was?
Yeah, we called it in. It's the victim's sports car. Wyatt said there's only the sedan left.
Did you find anything else?
No, that's it. Since we're still waiting for forensics, we gotta be careful. But you know how it is, right? Let me know if you have any other questions.
Did you find anything?
Still looking.
Hello, Mr. Bizori.
You must be mistaken. I'm Smith, Agent Smith.
Yeah, sure.
Do I know you?
Everyone knows who you are.
Is it just me, or are you pals with all the cops around here?
Let's just say I'm pretty... intuitive. You know what I mean.
Just who the hell are you?
Me? I'm nobody. The name's Wyatt Alvarez. I was embraced 5 years ago.
A thin blood. I spent years hunting them when Quentin King ruled Boston.
Unfortunately for me, the blood of my sire was already weak. So I can still catch glimpses of the sun, but I don't have actual powers.
Who created you?
His name was Victor, but he died last year.
Do the Kindred know you exist?
Yeah. I followed the rules, but the prince told me he never wanted to see me again, so I try not to make waves. I try to help out, here and there. I'm hoping someone will notice one day, and I'll be allowed to become a true kindred.
That's not very likely, if you ask me. I hope it works out for you.
I'm doing what I can. Actually, if you could put a word in with the prince, I'd be eternally grateful.
I don't get involved in that kind of thing.
Of course, obviously. But seeing as how I'm already working for your child, Mr. Underwood, I thought that maybe...
You work for Beryl?
Yes. I also work at a red salon, a couple of hours each day.
What do you do there, exactly?
Cleaning, mostly.
What are you doing here, then?
I thought it was a pretty cushy gig. It leaves me with a lot of spare time, even while I'm on the job. And it also means I can live at night.
Are you involved in what happened up there?
Not at all. I swear. I've got a sweet job here. I'd never risk it.
So what happened?
I've got no clue. My shift started at 10 p.m., as usual. The sixth floor tenant left around 11. At midnight, one of Mr. Moore's bodyguards came down to get the car. They were going to a party, apparently. I didn't see them come back. Then, around 2:20 or so, one of Mr. Moore's cars went flying out of here. It hit the wall near the exit.
Did you recognize the car?
Yeah, it was his sports car. The only one like it here.
Did you see who was behind the wheel?
No, it's got tinted windows. I thought it was Mr. Moore at first. But from what happened upstairs, I doubt it now. Hey, were you the one who...
You really think if it was me who did it, I'd be standing around here trying to figure out what happened? What can you tell me about Moore?
I saw him a lot. He's the tenant I got to know best because of his working hours. And he was the most generous when it came to maintaining his cars, too.
Anything in particular about Mrs. Moore?
Yeah, I see her every once in a while. Sometimes I see her with a girl, coming back from vacation. Sure is good they weren't here tonight.
What makes you say that?
Well, Mrs. Moore's car. I haven't seen it in the garage for weeks, and she's the one who took the girl to school. Mr. Moore told me they were on vacation, and he was going to go join them soon.
Did you see the bodyguards today?
James came by earlier this evening to move Mr. Moore's car, but I haven't seen them since.
That'll be all for now.
At your service, Mr. Bizori.
There's nothing in it.
Hurry up. We need something, guys.
We're waiting for the forensics.
Nobody told me there would be a retainer here. Ugh, what a mess. A Fortress security catalog. They install highly secure rooms. The ghoul who was searching here was looking for something specific. What are you playing at?
Oh, I beg your pardon?
Don't mess with me. Who are you?
Calm down, Mr. Bazori. I meant no disrespect. I work for the council.
Why would the council have sent her without warning me?
Most of the time, they send me to clean up.
Are you behind this?
No, I got here after it happened.
What's that file you've got?
Oh, an account file. Have it. Here you go.
Okay. Let's see how much she knows. All right. What have you found?
Oh, I'm a little embarrassed. I'm not really allowed to talk about my missions.
I don't have time for this. Give me what you have.
Like I said, Mr. Bazori, I'm here on behalf of the council. You know as well as I do that if you don't know about it already, you're not supposed to.
Think very carefully about what you're going to say, Lane. I'll ask you one more time. What are you doing here?
You're putting me in an awkward position.
You know our rules. You know you don't have a choice. What are you playing at?
I appreciate your consideration. I know that my life is in the balance.
I'm listening.
I was sent to get Mr. Moore and his papers.
But why didn't the prince tell me? I don't know what's going on, but I really don't have time to lose.
What do you...
You can be sure I'll report this to both the council and the prince.
No, please. I don't have a choice. I beg you. I'm only following orders. If you complain about me, I'm done for. Promise me you won't tell anyone about it, please. I've always been a loyal servant of the Council. I'm risking my life.
You're right.
I really don't want to.
So be it. This will be our secret. Fine. If we've both got to be here, we might as well work together.
Well, I've already searched the wife's office. Nothing. Then I went through his office. It looks like someone has already cleaned it up. I didn't find anything. I'm working on the bookshelf in this hallway, and I found something here.
What?
A file on the domain's finances the Council would rather not see end up in the police's hands.
Give it to me. I must return to the court tonight.
There's no need, sir. I have to destroy them.
Quit stalling, Lahane. Give me the files.
Yes. Yes. Here. That's everything.
You made the right choice. Tell me exactly what they asked you to do.
I got a message at 2:20 telling me to go to this address. I was supposed to pick up more and some financial documents. After that, I was supposed to wait for further instructions.
I'll tell the prince you obeyed your orders, but you'd better go.
But my mission, I've got to...
No questions, Lahane.
Very well, Mr. Bazori.
Son of a bitch wasn't messing around. Have you seen all that cash?
A Boston manufacturer's files. The mayor's deeds. Deeds. Stock portfolios. Moore doesn't just manage the Camaria's business. A Boston manufacturer's files. Portfolios of old shares. Dijon, are you making plans in case things go south? Or are you planning to leave us? I understand better now. The prince asked Moore for a complete report on the members of the Primogen. An auction. Acquisition of Lot 87. Dijon Siaka. A trumpet belonging to Don Ellis. Meet me there.
Okay, sure.
This is where I met Moore for the first time. Lydia and June at the beach.
Officer Baker, can I help you?
Were you the first person to arrive at the scene of the crime?
Yes, sir. My partner and I were the first to get here.
Just tell me about it.
We got the call around 2:20. The caretaker had called because a resident was injured. It took us about 20 minutes to get here. The poor guy was in a panic. He told us he'd seen one of the tenants, Jason Moore, enter the building, and he looked hurt. He was being held up by his 2 bodyguards, and he was bleeding a lot.
Did he see the wound?
Yeah, he said the victim was holding his right hip. So I went upstairs with the caretaker. We saw blood in the elevator and on the landing. I rang the doorbell, but nobody answered, so the caretaker opened the door. I identified myself. There were traces of blood leading down the hall away from the entrance, and just after that, I found the decapitated body.
Did your partner come with you?
No, he stayed in the foyer to secure the entrance to the building.
Did you touch the body?
No. There was nothing I could do to help him, so I secured the scene. I put my gloves on to take his ID out of his jacket pocket so we could identify him. Then I called it in.
Where was the caretaker during that time?
I told him not to come inside, but he followed me. When he saw the corpse, he was really shaken. He wouldn't let go of me.
Then what did you do?
I called for backup. They told me that forensics would get here as soon as they could. They were out at another case. That was their top priority.
After that?
I secured the entrance to the apartment.
Were you able to find the bodyguards?
No, there was nobody here. But they must be somewhere. We're looking. After that, I searched the ground floor. There was nobody around. But from the looks of things, somebody searched the apartment. When Sergeant Lehane got here, she took care of upstairs. It's a good thing, too, because it took everyone else another 15 minutes to get here. She didn't find anyone there.
So there's no sign of the family, then?
Nothing. The place is empty.
If you remember anything else, Let me know.
Of course. I should put some money on that.
It was my greatest pleasure before. Now everything tastes like ashes. My sire always said that at a prince's court, like in a game of chess, you must know when to sacrifice your pawns.
Did you find anything?
We're waiting for the forensics.
Did you inherit your mother's artistic talent, June?
You must be Smith.
Yes.
Rickman.
Have you found anything?
Not yet. This is the girl's room. There's no sign of her. I guess that's a good thing.
I'm going to take a look around. Let me know if you find anything.
Okay, Smith.
A bathroom with a shower and a tub. June's father spoils her. A bathroom with a shower and a tub. June's father spoils her. I've never been in this part of the apartment before. Poems in Lydia's mother tongue. A cell phone. Locked, of course. Beryl, will you ever change? Someone tossed a bunch of stuff in this bag, in a hurry to leave. bottle of disinfectant, obviously handled by someone who was bleeding. The concept of a laundry basket seems too abstract for some people. A drafting table. That must be Lydia's desk. I've just got one more question.
Yes. What do you want to know?
I think we're done here. Thank you. I've got what I need. Let's go back to the prince.
So the prince wasn't too disappointed?
She